Hi, I'm Father Diego. Happy Monday. Happy beginning of the week. And here is the gospel of today. Well, before the gospel, yesterday we celebrated the solemnity of the Epiphany. So, happy Epiphany for all of you. And I wish you that you receive a manifestation of God's love and compassion and mercy during this week. So we listen today the Gospel of Matthew chapter 4 verses 12 to 17, and then we jump to verses 23 to 25. When Jesus heard that John has been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and went to live in Capernaum by the sea, in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, that what had been said through Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled. Land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way to the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sit in darkness have seen a great light. On those dwelling in a land overshadowed by death, light has arisen. From that time on, Jesus began to preach and say, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." Then he went around all of Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness among the people. His fame spread to all of Syria, and they brought to him all who were sick with various diseases and racked with pain, those who were possessed, lunatics and paralytics, and he cured them. And great crowds from Galilee, the Decapolis, Jerusalem, and Judea, and from beyond the Jordan followed him. So this is the beginning of Jesus' public ministry after chapter 4 of the Gospel of Matthew. After his baptism and after the temptations in the desert, now Jesus begins his public ministry. And I want to highlight two important aspects from this Gospel. First of all, where Jesus goes, and second, to whom Jesus goes. So where Jesus goes, and this is not a random information from the gospel. This is important. Jesus goes to the periphery, not to the center of the religious power at that time, or Jerusalem or the temple. But Jesus decided to begin his ministry and to proclaim the coming of God's kingdom in those places who were considered not worthy to receive a message from God, because at that time Galilee and the towns near the ocean, they were considered like pagan land, right? They weren't worthy to receive because they were not that kind of religious people like the people in Jerusalem. Well, that was the idea of the thinking at that time. So Jesus decided to go to that place, to the peripheries, to the margins, to the outside Jerusalem, to those who were considered not worthy. And secondly, to whom goes Jesus? Well, Jesus goes and announces his gospel, the proclamation of the gospel. The first recipients, if you want, are those who are suffering. And there is a list here of those who received the message. His fame spread to all Syria, another foreign country. And they brought to him all who were sick in various diseases and racked with pain, those who were possessed, lunatics and paralytics, and he cured them. So, what is this gospel telling us? I think this gospel is telling us two things. First of all, Jesus wants to go to the peripheries, to the margins of our lives, to those dark areas and aspects of our lives, to bring light and to give us consolation and to strengthen us, right? But also he wants to cure us. He wants to get us better. He wants to give us joy, to make our life whole again. That's one of the important aspects of his message. Jesus came to bring salvation. And if you want, we can understand salvation here as an experience of fullness of life. That's why Jesus goes to those who are in pain, those who are rejected. And what is interesting about this list of the possessed, the lunatics, and the paralytics is the social burden to these people. They were rejected from society. They were not part of the community. They were outcast. So Jesus comes to them, giving them back their health, if you want, to reincorporate them into the community. Wonderful. What are your dark areas? What are your peripheries of your life, if you want? Well, Jesus wants to come to those areas in our life to bring us back, to give us light, and to make us whole again. This is still Christmas. It's not over, all right? So Merry Christmas again. Happy Epiphany, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow with the message of the gospel. Bye-bye.